Last time, we got to see Bardock and his family finally attack Frieza. Their attack might have been successful, but they didn't know about something. Cooler exists. And he might actually be a bigger threat than Frieza. Is there going to be any way for them to defeat him? And are they actually in danger of him finding them? We'll be seeing all that and more in this part 5 of What If Bardock Raised Kakarot. King Cold tells Cooler to come at him with everything he's got. After all this time, he could finally get rid of that thorn in his side. And a battle begins between the two. Back on Yardrat, Bardock and his family could actually sense this. It seems like Cooler's there and he's fighting someone. That must be King Cold. But something weird happens during the battle. They sense Cooler's powers start to rise, significantly even. It's terrifying because there was no way they could defeat him before, but he has more power than that too? Back on that planet, Cooler begins powering up against King Cold. Cooler proclaims that no one will stand in his way. Not his father, not Frieza, no one. He actually planned on using this power against his brother, but using it to kill King Cold will still be pretty pleasing for him. King Cold watches on confused as Cooler begins morphing into something else. He grows in size, musculature, the structure of his face and body change completely. The ground below them cracks and explodes. Every soldier with King Cold is knocked away by the sheer power of this transformation. And King Cold is stunned with fear. Cooler has this kind of power locked away? This is even more than Frieza. Cooler's transformation finishes, as he probably lets his father know that he has one more form above Frieza's. This is his true maximum power. On Yardrat, everyone's frozen with fear. Cooler's not even near them. They're just simply sensing his power from that far away. And he's already having that effect on them. They have no hope against him. His power is just unfathomable. And within an instant, King Cold's power disappears too. Cooler killed him, seemingly with ease too. That terrifying power that they just sensed, it disappears as quickly as it showed up. That's all he needed. Just a few seconds. That was enough to defeat King Cold. It probably would have been the same for Frieza. And Bardock then sees a flash of something. A vision. It's very abrupt, lasting only a few seconds. But it terrifies him to his core. That small vision alone is enough to make him fall to the ground, catching himself, breathing heavily as he's kneeling there. He tries to describe what he saw. It was Cooler. It was that final form of his. Whatever power he had, that's what he just saw. And the worst part is, the fact that he saw that vision means that he probably will see this in the future too. They already saw the first one of Cooler and now they see this one. And from what Bardock can tell, in both of those visions, it looked like he was on Yardrat. Now, they have no clue of when Cooler will arrive, but they know that he probably will arrive eventually. Vegeta says just like they thought. Those tricks that those Saiyans have, they won't work. He still can't really sense power that well, but from what they're saying, this guy's stronger than Frieza, leaps and bounds beyond that. And King Cold as well. None of them stand a chance. Kakarot wonders if the same strategy will work, but it probably won't. Cooler is stronger than Frieza, and he's probably a lot faster than him too, and he has a strong squad with him. Hitting him with Force Spirit Fission is actually going to be pretty tough. With Frieza, it was easy. He was in his first form. He was off guard. And the soldiers with him weren't particularly strong. If the Ginyu Force was there with him, that would have been a different story. And that's pretty much what's going to happen with Cooler. They're fighting a stronger foe, one that they're not going to hit with a surprise attack, and one who's actually going to have some reinforcements with him. He will be on guard. And Kakarot says there's only one thing they can do. They just need to get stronger, with pure strength, not just with spirit control and whatnot. Maybe having Vegeta and Nappa here is going to be a really good thing. They could be a wealth of knowledge for how Saiyans grow. Vegeta chuckles. That's exactly what he was thinking. Maybe he could warm up to this Kakarot guy, even though he gave off a bad impression before. And you know what? Bardock's fine with this too. He prefers to fight like an actual Saiyan anyways. He wanted a chance to defeat Frieza with his own strength, and this is his chance to actually do so, even if it is with a different person. They need to find out what it takes to become a Super Saiyan. That's what Vegeta has in mind. He obviously still has no clue what a Super Saiyan is, but he says a Saiyan that can surpass his limits and become that strong, he can become a Super Saiyan, being able to defeat Cooler with no problem. It's a legend that Bardock knows about, but he never really put much emphasis on it. He's had his own awakenings before too. He knows Saiyans can grow quickly in battle, like his battle with the Heaters from before. That power boost was significant, but still far too small for something like this. But he wonders if that's something like Super Saiyan maybe. Maybe it could be drawn out through willpower, rage, something like that. He has no clue though. And they still don't know what Super Saiyan is. Is it just an evolution of their base power? Is it transformation? There's only one way to find out. Train for it. Train for whatever they can. Grow stronger. And that training starts immediately. Vegeta thinks that he'll be the first to be a Super Saiyan. He is an elite after all. Maybe Nappa could do it as well. He doesn't know about these others. They are strong, especially by low class standards. But he wonders if it's something exclusive to someone like him, an elite prince. But some of the others, especially that Kakarot guy, something about him, well, it makes Vegeta think that he's stronger than he lets on. And his sister, she seems to be the same way. We have a passage of time. Over a year goes by. Cooler's conquest continues, as he takes over more planets, expanding his empire greatly, taking whatever was left of the Frieza Force for himself. He still has no clue who killed Frieza, but it's not really a concern to him. Frieza was weak anyways, and he was probably off guard. Look at how easily he killed King Cold. If it's someone that's even just comparable to Frieza, that's still not really going to be a challenge for him. However, one thing sticks in his mind. He wonders where Vegeta and Nappa went. They got to that planet before him, and then they were not there. Maybe they killed Frieza themselves, but how and why? That wouldn't make sense. Why would they lead Cooler there if they were just going to kill Frieza themselves? And why did they seem so weak in the first place? He was having an easy time fighting them. Actually, it wasn't even him, it was his armored squadron. So it would make sense that they could defeat Frieza. And how do they leave so quickly and unnoticed? Something doesn't add up here. They still don't seem like a threat to him, but he feels like maybe there's someone out there. Allies to those two Saiyans that he doesn't know about. And as he thinks about it, he remembers too, his brother is way weaker than him after all. Not to mention, it seems like the attack that happened, it was pretty quickly. It happened within a small time frame, and they could tell because the armored squadron detected it on their scouters. Someone must have just blitzed Frieza while he was in his first form off guard. But it couldn't have been those two Saiyans. They were too weak to do so, even if they did catch him off guard. But then he remembers, back a long time ago, when Planet Vegeta was destroyed, he was watching. And he remembers seeing space pods leave there. How could he forget? That's gotta be it. There's more Saiyans out there. He should have killed them while he had the chance. But maybe it's not that big of a deal. Maybe he could just kill them now. Even if they were able to kill Frieza, again, he was off guard. They had a quick sneak attack, which is pretty smart. It's not gonna work against him though. Over this time period too, Vegeta's able to point out where more Frieza bases are. It is really tough to get them because they need to sense some sort of energy there, but at one point they do find some soldiers in the Frieza force in space, or now I guess they're part of the Cooler force. A few of them teleport out, using those soldiers as a beacon. Then looting their resources. The most important thing that they need is healing pods. Vegeta suggests that this could really help their training, and they're able to bring it back to Yardrat. Now they have some for everybody here, which is a good way for them to grow stronger because now they can train more intensely and exploit Zenkais. Only to a certain extent at least. Vegeta and Nappa don't learn any of the tricks here on Yardrat. In their eyes, it doesn't suit them right now. They are more focused on just raw strength and getting Super Saiyan, as well as coming up with a good strategy to defeat Cooler. Raditz is the only one who really gets more adept with it because he was kind of behind before and he was already learning it. The others are already very proficient with spirit control, while Vegeta and Nappa have no desire to learn it. Vegeta still can't believe they were able to defeat Frieza, but one thing's for certain, he'll defeat Cooler. But he still doesn't truly recognize the extent of Cooler's power. He wasn't able to sense it before, even if he's proficient at sensing ki now. After this passage of time, a ship then arrives on Yardrat one day. Just as they expected, Cooler found them. They didn't know when he was going to show up, but he finally has. That anxiety that Bardock's felt this entire time, it's now over. He has his answer. He doesn't know how well prepared they are, but he thinks they are prepared enough at least. They could think of something. They could definitely get ahead somehow. We're also starting to get to a point where power levels don't matter as much in the story, so we'll just switch to normal scaling. Bardock is still the strongest of the group, with Kakarot not too far behind, and Ruda on equal footing with Kakarot. Then there's a gap between that, with Raditz and Gine being equal, and a small gap with Vegeta being behind that, with Nappa being the weakest who has a decent gap between him and Vegeta. But Vegeta will pull ahead. As the ship lands, Cooler doesn't even step out first. 3 soldiers step out, the armored squadron. Vegeta simply sticks a hand out, eliminating all of them with one blast. A while ago, those 3 might have concerned him, but those clowns aren't a threat to him right now. And then Cooler slowly steps up the ship. Impressive, defeating the armored squadron that quickly. Granted, their power is nowhere near his, but still. These Saiyans might be a little bit tougher than he expected, and just as he thought, there are Saiyans here. And he looks around at the group seeing them. Interesting. He knows Vegeta and Nappa, but he remembers only seeing 3 space pods leave Planet Vegeta. He has no clue where Raditz and Ruda came from, but judging by Raditz's armor, he was part of the Frieza force not too long ago. But it seems one of the Saiyans here is unaccounted for. Not too surprising, honestly. He had no clue about the Saiyans for this long, and it seems like there's one big happy family with Bardock. With them having a new kid too. But he's glad that all the Saiyans are together in one place. That way, he can eliminate them all pretty quickly. This will be the end of the line for the Saiyans. A fight ensues as all the Saiyans team up against Cooler. And just as he expected, they're pretty strong and quick. Cooler knows that Frieza was defeated quickly, but still doesn't know how. But if this was the strength he was up against, that kind of explains it. A group attack out of nowhere, that definitely will do it for him. And Cooler's actually having a tough time defending against all of them. With so many fighting him at once, and with all of them actually being a lot stronger than before, this is going to be a bit tough. Cooler fights and moves so quickly that it's hard to get a good hit in, and when they do, it doesn't do too much damage. Collectively, they're overpowering him, but individually, no one can really overpower him at this state. Although Bardock, Kakarot, and Ruda are the closest, but still not close enough to Cooler's power. Force Spirit Fission won't be easy, but that's fine. They could just collectively overpower him, and as long as they kill him before he transforms, that's good enough. Bardock is still worried though. He did see the transformation, but he knows that he can change the future. He's gonna do that here. But Cooler suddenly stops fighting, and jumps back. Honestly, he has to commend their strength. He didn't expect Saiyans to be that powerful, although it's no wonder that they were able to defeat Frieza. He tells them that he's not done, and Bardock immediately knows what that means. He tries to launch a blast at Cooler, but it's already too late. He starts powering up, and the attack does nothing to him. He taunts Bardock. Stop being so impatient. He'll get to see the transformation soon enough. He's already that scared? Cooler's not even finished yet. The ground cracks below him. Fiery plumes of lava shoot out from below. The entire planet's shaking. Paibara is far away with the other Yardratians. Some of the warriors did want to jump in and try and help, but they knew they wouldn't be of any help here. Paibara just hopes that the planet will be okay. But he has hope in the Saiyans. A powerful glow surrounds Cooler as he then morphs, turning to a monster more terrifying than he already was. He smirks, once again taunting the Saiyans. A mask then covers his face as he's ready to attack. His first target is Bardock, the one who attacked him while he was transforming. He's the strongest in the group, and he disrespected Cooler by doing that. He won't let that slide that easily. Bardock assumes a battle stance, but before he can even do anything, Cooler immediately moves in front of him. Bardock can't even react in time. He instantly feels all the wind knock out of him as Cooler punches him right in the gut. There's a massive shockwave resulting from it, and Bardock is almost sent flying, until Cooler vanishes behind him, stopping him in his tracks as he spins around, whipping Bardock with his tail, sending him careening into the dirt nearby. Cooler then drops from the sky, stomping on Bardock. He lifts him up by his hair and then sticks out a hand in front of him, blasting Bardock far away. It all happens so quick that no one else can even react in time. Vegeta just stands there with complete shock. Gine's furious and tries to locate Bardock's energy, just to make sure he's fine. And then she teleports away. She tells the others she'll be back soon, teleport away if they need. Kakarot and Ruta then attack Cooler from both sides, with Raditz jumping in too. They have direct hits with all their power, but it does nothing. The three even all jump back, sticking their hands out together in front of them, charging a massive blast launch right at Cooler, which he simply just whips away. Nearby, Nappa and Vegeta are just stunned with fear, with Vegeta even falling to his knees. They're doomed. This is too much for them. And not too far away, Bardock is badly beaten, lying on the ground, almost unconscious. Gine is there, glad that she found him, and he weakly tells her they need to retreat. He's too strong. This is unlike anything he's ever felt. There's no way they're going to defeat him now. They need more time. But what about Yardrat? This whole planet is going to be destroyed. Bardock says they could just get everyone to teleport away from here. The planet will be a loss, but they'll find somewhere else to go. He tries to chuckle, but is too weak to. He says it's a good thing that they have a planet where everyone could just teleport away if they need. And he's sure Paibara has it under control as well. He then passes out, with Gine thinking of what to do. Should she get them all to leave? They might not have enough energy to teleport soon enough. Yeah, the other Yardratians might be fine, but her family. If they don't escape quick enough, they'll either die by Cooler's hand, or they'll run out of energy before they can teleport. Back on the battlefield, Cooler knocks Ruta and Kakarot aside, with Raditz barely able to teleport away and dodge. And he's quick with instant transmission now, trying to use that to trip Cooler up. He keeps teleporting around, acting as a distraction. But finally at one point, Cooler's able to predict where he teleports to, grabbing him as soon as he gets there, and shoving Raditz to the ground. That technique's a bit annoying. Why not fight like a real warrior instead of a coward? Under Cooler's foot, Raditz is barely able to teleport away, vanishing to where Gine and Bardock are. He needs to recoup for a bit. That was so much damage, and Cooler barely even attacked him. But Cooler turns over to where Vegeta and Nappa are. He loves that look of terror on their faces. He could just tell. The fear that they're feeling is so great that they can't even physically move. It's so funny to see. Kakarot and Ruta are barely standing, and he commends them. For Saiyans, they are decently strong, but he's had his fun now. He defeated the strongest one, and he doesn't think fighting them any longer is going to be too fun for himself either. Plus, seeing the Saiyan Prince cower in fear like that, it's pretty nice. Cooler jumps up in the air. Kakarot and Ruta are scared about what he's about to do, and Kakarot then realizes he's charging an attack. Cooler lifts a finger up, and a large ball of energy begins charging above him. It starts as a small orange glow at first, but continuously grows in size. Where Bardock is, he's fading in and out of consciousness. All he sees is the orange glow. Not even sure what it is. No, this can't happen. He tells Gine and Raditz, get everyone else to leave, all the other Yardratians. They need to go now. He wasn't strong enough. This planet's going to be destroyed. But he wonders if they'll even be fast enough to do that. He doesn't know when Cooler's going to launch the attack. And they'll need to find somewhere to go too. He didn't expect him to destroy the planet right away. And Raditz is angered. He knew this might happen, but he then has an idea. There's one shot at victory. Kakarot and Ruta are still in the fight. They just need to buy some time. And he sticks a hand out, at long range, launching all of his energy towards where Kakarot and Ruta are. And Gine gets up and does the same, using Spirit Fission in reverse basically, giving those other two all the energy that they have left. It's small, but it'll help. Cooler laughs as he launches the supernova, with Kakarot and Ruta desperately trying to defend against it. They each launch a blast back at it, and they can't push it back. But they feel a sudden burst in power, the energy that was lent to them. It restores them enough, but it's still not going to help them defend against this. The supernova drives them further and further into the ground. And Kakarot sticks a hand out back at Vegeta and Nappa. He asks them, he needs some energy. Damn it. Well, looks like they don't have any other use for it. So they lend some of their power to them too. They try their hardest, but nothing's working. And it seems the supernova has defeated them. But suddenly, there's a massive surge in power. The supernova, it then is launched right back at Cooler. And in the nick of time, he's barely able to grab it, throwing it up in the air, as it careens off into space and explodes. But he looks down, seeing a golden glow below him. But that glow suddenly vanishes. There's no one left there. That supernova seems to have destroyed them, but then how did it get launched back? And Cooler hears two weird sounds behind him. The same sound he heard when Raditz was teleporting. He turns around and recoils in shock. Standing there is Ruta and Kakarot, both with golden hair. Today's not the day he's gonna win. What's happened to them? They've changed. He has no clue what happened. But the sibling Super Saiyan Duo wastes no time. The two of them punch Cooler simultaneously, with each of their fists going right through him. Then they start rapidly teleporting around him, delivering powerful attacks as they do so. Cooler's injured and completely disoriented. How could this happen? But he has no time to even think about what's happening. The two then appear below him, each with their hands stretched above them, and simultaneously they launch a powerful blast directed right up towards him, launching Cooler far away out into space, killing him. The two float there, and they barely have any energy left. They simply power down, falling to the ground below. They're the first Super Saiyans, and they don't even realize it yet. This is where we'll end off for now. What'd you guys think about this part, and what's going to happen next time? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, especially if you want to help out the channel and see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.